Yeah, that's what it doesn't
Oh,
do.
I know, I
If
got
you're
two of
plugged
them
in-
now, and they don't really
If you're
work.
plugged,
No,
if you're
have
plugged
to
in,
pull
it doesn't come
so
up.
lay it on.
Well,
Yep.
As long as it doesn't ruin your cords.
And then they got the concrete box on the top side of it, and it's just gonna go.
Oh, yeah, that'll be a hole.
What was up
You
with
know, that'll
the?
be a hole.
Cause I can't monitor it on this phone anymore, so I don't care.
Okay,
Without people don't need it.
okay, cool. I guess I should show my picture.
There you are.
There, no. No.
We were talking about it, and I thought I'll see him tonight, I'll ask. So if you wanna come up and we can have a discussion.
I can't.
Scoot up again,
show my
please.
Picture.
I'm not good at proving I'm not a robot, man. Sometimes I get them wrong.
No.
Yeah, well, said pick fire hydrant. I think one of them had a firefighter standing in front of it. I was like, oh, is that also? I wish I could say I never had to go twice, but I often do.
You have to go to the bottom and find,
We're dealing
find, audio.
Uh-huh.
North Korea, basically.
Uh-huh.
For our web platform, like, can we get a capture in there so people are flying, they have to.
Right.
Yeah, like, this sounds like 20-year-old technology.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I've seen a lot of here.
But mine's all brush, there's some trails. But it's a lot of brush.
No, you don't want, you don't want
It's
that.
only fall now.
And,
Is it your camera, you have to turn your camera around?
but
Oh,
there's
you
deer up
gotta-
there.
You gotta turn your camera around.
Bobby likes to
Once
protect the purpose owl.
Jessica's smiling face.
No.
You have
He has
to
to stop
press right
driving up through there, yeah.
Oh.
I
The cheers for the age.
I can get out of the meeting and start over because it asked you when you join. Oh, wait, what was that? There we go. That's it.
Yeah, that's what they,
There you go.
Bye. She found it.
All right, well,
Hey,
Just about. I'm just putting it on Facebook.
Your yard's up, just like they do with me.
Now we're all set. It's live on YouTube and Facebook. I'm recording.
I'd like to call the December town of Hector audit meeting to order. Please rise and recite the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks. Should I scream? Is that
Yeah.
helpful? You look like you're past me.
All right.
It'll be okay.
We have
To phase two.
two sets of minutes. I'm sure everybody has reviewed.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for October 23rd and November 2nd.
Second.
So first and a second, any further questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the minutes? Anybody opposed? Motion here. Now, we are reaching the end of the year, so there are quite a number of journal entries. Yes. All right, we're gonna start with, oh man, they don't have description.
Hmm?
They have description of a bunch of this.
You wanna read it from here? I don't need to wait what you're doing. You wanna read it from there?
We wanna
Start with right here.
transfer $2,227.50 from fund balance A 599 to A 1420.41. That's the attorney for our Teamsters negotiations. We are gonna transfer $4,000 from fund balance, which is A 599 to 1460.4. And that's record management contractual. And this money we're taking from fund balance, this is for repairing the map. And this is money, during COVID, we still budgeted for records management and records preservation, but didn't spend any of it. It just all ended up in the fund balance. So we're spending some of it now to restore that old map that we looked at a couple of meetings ago. $5,328 from fund balance A 599 to 1620.4. This is for shared services. This is cost of Hunt Engineering for the the first payment on the environmental survey that we have all gotten the first draft copy of. And then $3,374.72 from contingency, which is A 1990.4, not A 599, to A 1620.4. Shared services. This is basically paying to keep the lights and the propane.
It was,
on.
yeah,
So, things that
a
are-
lot of it was postage, propane, other supplies.
Everything's gone up and the budget hasn't kept up with it. Next one is $6,300.07 from fund balance A 599 to A 7110.4. And this is Smith Park contractual.
Portion
And
of that coming back and grant.
yeah, a portion of this is coming back in grant, so I figured it made most sense for it to come out of fund balance, because we're just gonna be putting the money back in there. $27 from contingency A 1990.4 to A 7510.4. That's slight overage for the historian.
Yes.
And then we're transferring $13,248.66 from fund balance to DA 5, which is DA 599 to DA 5130.4. That's machinery contractual repairs. Then we are transferring $390.90 from DB. Did I? Okay. We're transferring $11,200.83 from DB 5110.44 to DB 5110.4. It's we're moving the money from fuel to repair line or general repairs
General repairs.
in the DB fund. We're got a lot of things breaking and we got to pay for them.
Yeah, but that one's roads, so.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we decided at the end after our repaving of Rose Lane and our temporary fix of the tunnel, that instead of expensing it out of our CHIPS funding, since it was only $11,000, we figured we'd find another way so that we could roll over the money for CHIPS for next year. We decided that since we had the cash, we should pay for it that way and save our state funding for bigger projects.
We have the cash from fuel because we didn't spend.
We didn't
Plus the
clear it all in
surplus
DV.
At the end of this year.
Yep.
Okay.
No, that if you put CHIPS money on that road, you can't spend CHIPS money on it next year.
Exactly. Question, $390.90 from DB 5140.4 brush and weeds to DB 5110.43. That's Jolly Mine. Then that was over. And then 868.24 from DB 5140.4 brush and weeds to DB 9089.8, which is other benefits.
It was uniforms and boots and things like that, but took that over.
As we updated and transferred some of the way we're spending funds from between DB and DA, some of that funding is out of whack, and hopefully next year, with the assistance of our changes that have been referred to us by our accounting firm, hopefully this would be in a better spot. we are transferring $1,328,035 from SW 8320.4 source of supply to SW 8340.4 transmission distribution for, that is. I can't remember what that's for.
When we have all the hookups, when we pay for all the parts for a hookup, it comes out of the 8340.4. We have it, you have offsetting income, but
That's the balance.
it causes that line item to go short if we have multiple, hookups in the year, so.
So we'd have to do a budget transfer to,
Right. You,
Fix it.
you could take it from revenue that's received, but that your revenue is gonna end up in fund balance anyway. But or you take it from another line, it works.
we are transferring finally $250 from fund balance SM 599 to SM 4540.43.
Is Mecklenburg.
It's Mecklenburg, it's billing costs for Mecklenburg, which is under budgeted. So those are the journal entry budget amendments as presented. Thank you.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
We have a first and second. Any additional questions or comments about those? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Nobody opposed? We now, I will accept a motion for approval of bills to be paid.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second the motion to approve the bills as audited.
We have a first and second. Any further questions or comments on the bills to be paid? Hearing none,
Oh, I did have one question about the campsite markers. Why was the August, was it just not paid?
We didn't have an invoice till after the November 6th meeting at all. So whether it came in through email to Mallory or not, I don't think it did, because she had to ask for it.
Yeah.
So we were never invoiced for the first. Or we were for the first, but not the
First, but I didn't
second, I
get
don't
the
know.
second. I never got the second invoice for the second shipment.
which we did get.
Yeah.
I reached out and she emailed it and sent it.
Okay,
Yeah, so we got it.
Okay, yeah, I'm just curious about that.
Yeah. It would have been paid.
Yeah.
The
I
one
was
at
like,
least in
wow.
November if we'd had it, but we didn't have.
hearing no other questions, all in favor of approval of bills to pay?
Aye.
Neither of our Schuyler County legislators are here, so we're gonna skip over the updates and move to the 10-minute public hearing. Public comment period, excuse me. Once again, if you have anything you'd like to comment on, please identify yourself and where you reside. It is now 7:11. Yes, sir.
Richard Baum from Oak Road. Josh borrowed time from PJ and I know he told me it's like 26 hours left over. Now, is that gonna come back to us or is that gonna go back to the system?
It should go back to the sick bank.
I know in the minutes, it's supposed to go back.
The resolution
It's supposed to go back, PJ is supposed to go back.
Right, and we will make sure it gets back to you, because if that's the way we passed it, it should come back to you,
Yeah.
absolutely.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you for asking that. Any other comments? Hearing none, we're gonna close the public comment period at 7:12 PM. And we're gonna move on to the department reports, starting right off with the Sustainability Committee report.
Okay, so the Sustainability Committee submitted the proposal to Sustainable Finance to build a small pollinator garden at Mecklenburg Community Park. We did get the grant, so we were awarded $350, and that will be matched with $350 from the Sustainability Committee's budget. The check came in, it came to me, and I brought it over here on Monday. It was made out to the town of Hector.
Yep.
That. The Odessa Library and Montreux Falls Library also received pollinator grants. We didn't know we were submitting the same kind of thing. So we're gonna meet in January and kind of talk about options to coordinate, collaborate on gardens. There'll be another opportunities to submit grant requests in the spring sometime, so.
Is there any
Same.
special reason you want to collaborate with them or?
Just to sort of talk about what kind of plants they had in mind. And
Yeah.
where we could save any money. They have ideas for places we could find inexpensive plants and
Okay.
gardening experience.
Yeah. Okay, just wondering if, nice.
I had mentioned at the last meeting that there's a New York State funding opportunity available for an EV charging station. I forget the amount. We determined at our last sustainability committee meeting that the town doesn't really have property that's appropriate. These have to be publicly available and be good for people. So we've had some preliminary discussions with the fire company. Also, the Hector Presbyterian Church, somebody suggested that to us. We don't really have any responses back yet, so I'm not sure where this is gonna go. We'll continue to talk about it. This opportunity ends towards the end of February, or unless money is all spent first.
Is this what you for?
So this is kind of a bad time of year. I took a look at the 48-page proposal yesterday. It's kind of complicated. Yeah. It's kind of complicated and it seems to me you're going to have to get bids, right? I'm not mistaken.
You have to get bids unless we can find somebody that's on the state bid.
Okay.
And there are EV charger companies that qualify as the state bid, so we
So
don't have
that's
to.
a complication. Another complication is that the town would have to come up with a match of 20 or 30%. It depends on our average income levels in the town. The idea would be that maybe whoever ends up with the charging station would give some revenue back to the town, but that would require an agreement. And it would require an agreement because this is money that comes to the municipality, and then the town would then have to have an agreement with whoever decided to host the charging station. So anyway, we'll continue to look into it and talk about it, and I'll keep you informed.
Thank you.
And it seems like Dandy is again the place that people are interested in, right?
And we have broached the subject with them and they were receptive, but we have to get the dirty details worked out.
I mean, that was my impression from the emails that neither the fire hall or the church was that interested, and they both thought Dandy would be a better place.
Right, and I was independently wondering if you would also need a competitive process to select a business to host it.
It's a good question. I don't know.
That might be something that lawyers should be asked about. We're still working on our Hector Homegrown campaign. Is moving slowly, especially now that we're into winter. I think we have 9 people interested out of about 26 total, so when we get a few more, probably in the spring, we're gonna launch the Facebook page and hopefully get some communication going around town about local businesses that grow things, produce things. And then lastly, we had a successful Hector Watershed Forum in November, whatever that was. We're planning another one in 2026. So we're gonna be talking about harmful aquatic produce. Seems to be a real interest in the community. We intend it will be in the spring sometime, and possible speakers are Senator Pure Waters. They've already been approached and are interested, and then somebody mentioned the Community Science Institute might have. I'm not too sure who they are. We can look more into that.
They're the ones that do the science for some of the Lake Pure Waters. So they collaborate together. The community science system testing.
Okay.
They're the scientists that go out the boats and they coordinate all this stuff. And then the Pure Waters is more of like the volunteer / marketing campaign.
Okay, so maybe they could both come.
Bob Barton used to be part of that.
What's that?
Bob Barton used to be part of that. Yes, okay.
Well, that's all I have.
Excellent, thank you. Next on our agenda is our assessors report. Asked our assessor to provide a quarterly report to the board. And so this is the first one since our conversation. You're on.
All right. So Justin and I met, and I'm sure many of you have already heard, after discussions and thinking long and hard about it, we also met with the state and we decided to move with the state's recommendation to take an extra year for the revale project, so that's been put off until 2027. Not that it's not happening, just giving ourselves an extra year to meet deadlines that weren't previously met. And just being confident in the numbers that we're putting out because it's going to be a big project. The state also would like to come out and meet with the board to do kind of like a Q&A reassessment training session in March, if you guys would be interested in that, a date at which you guys decide. They said just in preparation for that meeting, if you had any questions, if you write them down and I can submit them to them ahead of time. So just so they're best prepared for the meeting. They'd
Did you
also
say
like to-
March for that?
They're
March?
thinking March, yeah. They didn't want to travel in the winter. And they also offered to do a similar meeting for the public outside of, you know, one of these types of meetings if we would like in June or sometime over the summer, when our snowbirds are here. Just so everyone has the opportunity to ask questions and really understand the reassessment process before the numbers come out for 27. Okay, also exemption renewal letters are coming out. Normally we send those out in October. Justin and I have talked that that's probably a little too early for some of our folks because the due date isn't until March 1st. So they get lost along the way. So we're pushing them back to Christmas, New Year's mailing, kind of like the tax bills, in hopes that they don't get lost along the way. Again, they're due back to the real property office by March 1st. That would be ag, low income senior and disability exemptions. The state has completely taken over the STAR program, so the local offices don't handle any more processing of applications or troubleshooting anymore. We do have a phone number and a website to assist people with, so I mean, they can still contact me if they need help, but.
I have a question, Jessica.
Sure.
So if you're turning 65 and applying for the enhanced one, you have to do it through the state website?
Yeah.
Not through you guys anymore?
No, they took away the forms, there's no more forms. Everything is either through their website or there's a phone number that they can call.
Because there will be some people in that age bracket
That
that
aren't gonna be able to do it, computer. Yep,
and you can assist them if they're in that type of
certainly.
situation.
Yes, definitely. Lastly, I just wanted to thank you guys for the reappointment. I really appreciate working in this community. I live here. So I enjoy serving the Hector community and I'm excited to work with the new staff in the clerk's office and anything you guys need of me, continue to ask.
Thank you. Any other questions from the board? We have updated on our website, so if anybody that signs on and is looking to contact the assessor, it will go directly to her office, her personal line. It's not going to work through the switchboard anymore. So hopefully it'll be easier to get in touch with her. And if anybody has any problems, please feel free to also reach out to the town because we can try our best to make the connection between you and our assessor. Thank you. We're going to move on to highway report.
Last month, we finished fall grading, with grading up until it started snowing. I'm working in gravel pit, making gravel. Done some ditching when weather's permitting, still bull mowing roadsides. We put a new motor in our old excavator. Been putting plows and wings on and getting ready, and we've been out a few times sanding and salting. You can come back. Well, no, you can't. I don't have enough trucks.
With that in mind, great lead in. The other item under his report is the quote for a truck and sander and plow to outfit the truck. And the way we plan to pay for this is to break it up over 2 years, because the truck will be here in the middle of 2026, but they are not able to get it, the outfit of it complete until 2027, unfortunately. So our current plan is to finance it through CHIPS funding, with the truck being purchased and paid for in 2026, and the sander and the wing and the plow, et cetera, being paid for in 2027 when the finished package is delivered to us.
So we're gonna get a truck with it. You do this, we'll get a truck without a back on it.
Well,
Yep.
yeah,
Kevin Jeffy.
Is there anything we can do with that while, before we get it back on? Or is it
Well,
gonna
we
sit?
probably won't even get it here.
It usually goes straight from the manufacturer to the place that puts on all the
But
attachments.
if you,
Oh,
if.
oh, okay, so then we
If,
can
I don't know
do
if you looked there, maybe you just got the thing, but it's like 193.
193 for the truck,
How much that?
193 for the truck.
It'd be 183 if you pay for it in June, otherwise you have to pay interest
until the whole package is
until the
done.
whole package is done. You'll save $10,000. Pay for it.
Right,
But we won't physically get the truck.
but we
back.
won't get it until it's gotten the dump body put on it and outfitted out. So we'll be able to use it in 2027, we hope, winter 27,
No, probably.
not till,
Yeah.
Fall of
27.
2027,
Yes,
yeah,
hopefully.
fall of 20, I hope so.
yeah.
No, ever since COVID, they're just, everybody's 2 years behind.
No, we had explored, we explored and we moved forward with the purchase of the excavator. And financing it over a multi-year period of time. We weren't comfortable with doing both the excavator and a 10-wheeler in the same year. That being said, we may want to explore that potentially in 26 or 27, get another one of these trucks on order, because if there's a 2-year backlog, we definitely need more than one new truck. We probably could handle 8 new trucks, but that's not a budgetary option. So we need to get the next one. We need to start planning in 26 is how we're going to get the next one after this one in the system. Just sharing that with everybody.
Was the lead time always that long, or is that?
No,
I think it was since COVID, right? I
Yeah,
think
the
it's
last
not-
5 years.
Kind of, what.
it used to take
About 8 months.
6 to 8 months to get the whole thing, both parts of it done.
Hmm.
And now it takes almost a year and a half to 2 years.
They got trucks lined up at the body shops.
Hmm.
They're just wall to wall.
Do you want me to read it or you want to?
Yeah, well, I was going to make a resolution, but Jane can read it for us.
I'll read it, then you can decide who's making it. Resolve to authorize the highway superintendent and supervisor to provide with the order and purchase from Onondaga quote number MG 00000780 of a 2027 International HX 510 10-wheel truck at a price of $193,134.47, with expected delivery in June of 2026 to be paid from 2026 CHIPS funding. Further resolved to authorize the order or purchase of the dump box, plow, sander, wing, and full mounting on the 2027 International at a price of $137,779.30, with expected delivery in June of 2027 to be paid from 2027 CHIPS funding. So your total purchase price of the truck is $330,913.77.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a first and a second. I would like to make the comment that I put in the full amount of that truck of 193, 134.47, not the 183, just in case there's any issues. If there's not gonna be a problem if we pay less, but if we have to pay more, I figured leaving that $10,000 in there, there's no sense. And then when the truck shows up and we pay for it, we can move forward. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay, we have a first and a second. Any further questions or comments? Hearing none. All in favor?
I,
Anybody opposed? Thank you, Scott. I know you've been talking that truck for a year and a half, so it's great to have one on order. And
And can you please thank the guys out in the shop for all the plowing?
At the rate it's going, it's gonna be.
You thank the guys in the shop for being out there early plowing because it's been cold and snowy, double whammy.
What's that, tonight?
No,
In
just
general.
just in general, yeah.
Oh, quite a few times.
I know.
that's why she's asking you. to thank-
They thank them because it's been
Getting old enough.
What
You
did you
shouldn't
do
have
about
been
that?
talking to me. It sounds like a bunch of Chinese folks if there's more than one talking.
I figure it's a monkey with symbols, but.
It was. Sat right next to me.
The adults in the peanuts.
That's what it sounds like. Many people going in my ears.
The teacher.
Thank you, Scott. Anything else?
I hope
No.
not.
All right. Then we're gonna move on to the water district. Josh wasn't feeling well tonight.
No, so he's achy all over and everything, so. So, all right, for November, we pumped 4.6 million gallons, an average of 153,000, so it's gone down a little bit.
We look like it cleaned up.
Water testing and current samples are all up to date. Monthly reports, DOH reports, these DMR reports are also now. DOH was here to collect routine samples scheduled, they are scheduled for a sanitary inspection, maybe after the first of the year. Water service turn-ons and offs, 3 turned off. Backup generators, both working order. Water treatment plant air compressors, maintenance still waiting on parts on the one. Paul skid is all in good working order. Service trucks are both in good working order. Meter reading system is working great after a few repeaters were installed in some dead zones. Lead and copper samples, there's 10 more to be completed before the end of December. Hydrants are all checked and winterized for the winter season. Water services, new service, new home build on Light and Frost. We met with the boring company, the same company that's gonna do our repair on here too. And we're gonna do our repairs first, then do Light and Frost. We're just waiting to get back from them. They had two bores scheduled and they're both over one was 30,000 and one was 40,000. So
to bore under the
yeah,
highway.
yeah. I'm not exactly sure where they're in Eastern New York, both of them. And he wasn't sure when it would be done with that, depending on weather conditions and everything. And then also the water, which I covered on there too.
I feel like we could pick up some of the cones and
Yes.
whatnot since the plow.
Yeah.
Other question, the air compressor. We've been waiting for parts for that for,
Yeah.
is it obscure or what? Do you have any idea why, or is it just back ordered? And
The maintenance guy said he could mess with it. But it's a part that we've already like swapped back and forth, and he was shocked that it was working, so he got one for the one. That's all set, but the part for the other one, just waiting on that, as far as I know.
Gotcha, okay. And then there is a customer that we would like to remove. We're looking for authorization to remove the customer.
Yeah, to remove the the billing to the customer. Water should have been shut off months ago. The guy went into a facility. Ended up passing away. Little to no water has been used in the last year at the property.
Was that
Yeah.
metal roof?
That was the
Factory Street.
Factory Street one.
Yeah.
That is off, I forgot to
It's,
mention.
it's off. There are no living relatives to this guy. There is nobody to do anything to take over the property. It will probably end up being taken by the county. Because taxes won't be able to be paid. There's no money, there's nothing. So
The gentleman I met with there said that he did go to a friend,
Who doesn't?
but it was never notarized. Or
so it, yeah, so it might take months to clear.
Going to
Yeah.
probate.
So,
there's
um,
a cousin that would be
It-
interested in the property, so
yeah,
I,
but,
who knows what.
So basically, we wanna,
so it's removing $239.63 from the account. And, because there's no way to collect. It didn't get
No.
it didn't get re-levied because it was supposed to have been off.
No.
And I don't. It was discovered it wasn't off when they tried to, like, make sure the house, everything in the house was shut down for winter. It was discovered, but it was supposed to have been off and it wasn't, so, it's now off. So there's no way to collect this money. There's nobody to go after to collect it at the moment.
If it was re-levied though, it would be put on the tax bill and it would be on the in January, but.
well, the thing is, it's supposed to be turned off, so.
It should have been
I
off
understand that.
before that.
It should have been turned off before it even got
It
to
should have
that.
been off and it shouldn't have been billed. It should have been off quite a few months before that and it shouldn't have been billed.
They requested for it to be turned off, someone did, and
The gentleman that was trying to help this guy towards the end of his life was trying to say, why is it being billed? There's no water being used. There's nobody there. There's, you know.
And if you look at the water use record, it really is basically the water.
Yeah, so basically they were charged the base amount of the bill and very little to nothing went through the meter. So there wasn't anybody using it on a very regular basis. There were no readings.
But we're not sure if anybody actually really called and said, turn off the water.
that's what I was wondering,
I believe there was a request made months ago. What happened to it, I don't know.
So you're looking for a motion to remove the refund?
It's not a refund, it's just to remove the billing and set the account to zero.
Remove the billing
$139.63.
of $239.63 and reset the account to
Just
zero.
the balance to zero on the account.
I'll second that.
We have a first and a second. Any further questions or comments about this? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Like,
The other day when I called you on two, did the guys?
Yeah, we're. Josh didn't want to talk about. And everything in there, but on the other side, so,
That's good.
yeah,
Sorry to bother you.
no, you're fine. No, we're just coming down Matthew's Road. With my father. So.
Let's move on to the
Jeremy,
park.
take care.
Dude, and Merry Christmas.
You
You
too.
do.
Stay warm.
Yeah, try to, huh?
Let's see. Before it got cold and the weather kind of hit, Rebecca and I had walked the perimeter of the park assessing our no hunting signs. Things were up for the most part. We didn't really find any missing per se. A few were down, but we repounded them into the ground and they seemed pretty good. Got the bathhouses winterized, so everything's all sealed up there. We did walk the boat launch road and the overflow parking lot. So there is no access down to the boat launch anymore, at least when there's bad weather. If it does decide to get nice or whatever, I can reopen the gate. But for now, it'll stay locked. And the dumpsters as well. I stopped Casella, there is no more pickup, and I've, what's the padlock, thank you, padlock both the dumpsters.
So
So,
what's the date you asked to sell it to stop picking up? Because there were two bills.
yeah, one should have been recycled, cause it was last Tuesday. It was last Monday, I take that back, cause Tuesday, we're coming Tuesday, the next day to pick up the recycle, and I had to stop it after that.
Okay, that was last week.
Yeah. Yep. I turned in the petty cash, so that's all taken care of. The golf cart, I did cover that for the winter. Do we have any direction we're going with the golf cart? Did you ever hear back, Jane, after you submitted those second string of
I
pictures?
didn't, I think we have to try to relist it again with the pictures.
Okay,
But at this point, doesn't make sense to do it now or wait till spring.
right. Well, it's covered up, so it's hopefully, I was worried that the longer it sits there, the worse condition it would be
Oh, yeah.
in, but it is at least tarped and covered, so. Got a new thing for the Newfoundland Club with the dogs. They wanna come in 6:13 and 6:14. Just kind of letting you guys know about that. We'll have porta john and everything set up for them for when they come. We did receive our second shipment of PSA markers. We placed about 25 of them. So they are in the ground. I'm working on getting stickers, number stickers. Put on them so that we'll have number stickers and we'll have site markers. So that'll be nice. And then the last thing, tap grant. We've been doing a lot of work Tess has with Brian Polson for the signage and website and things like that. Think do we need an approval for his invoice or is that just, yeah?
It was in the bill.
That was in the bills.
Okay,
It was in the bill.
okay, I wasn't sure if that needed to be a separate thing.
No, I'll have that ready to go probably by next week, although, yeah, anyway, so that will be ready for meeting by the end of December. The chamber. They do need, proof of clear chat.
Which we can do that.
Yeah, okay.
That's, I was just gonna ask you, because most of the grants require that.
Okay, good.
So that's.
Alright. And I just wanted to talk about the PSA markers, because Mallory totally understated. She did an awesome job. So we rented a piece of equipment from General Equipment. It was like I don't know what it's called, but it's like a stand behind skid steer. Would be like it dug holes with the auger. And
Household.
no, no, John couldn't remember what it's called too, but he said it's more like a stand behind skid steer.
That's basically what it is.
It has an auger.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of,
It's
it's
more
more,
of an auger that you stand behind.
yeah, it reminds me more of like a dingo type thing, but it has the auger on the front of it and you can
Let's throw another
dig the
one.
holes with it.
So Don and Mallory went up and got it. And then basically John just let Mallory kind of figure it out. And she did a great job. He was super impressed. And she dug all the holes. I think that it just came to light how this is a really viable way that the park could do maintenance. Since maintenance really ought to be done every year. Excavation on the campsites and stuff, if the park is going to be like a successful campground. Being that it's downhill, on the bottom of that hill with erosion constantly happening. Anyway, the idea of instead of actually trying to get bids from contractors, to rent, they have skid steers up at their links equipment, to rent a piece of equipment and have someone
Staff.
run it. Yeah, and I don't know if it could be someone from highway or Jason Bond or Mallory could learn. Or Jeremy Brown. I don't know if we can borrow people from other departments, but way, way, way less expensive.
You're saying highway would deliver gravel and then somebody would just rent a skid steer and spread it.
Yeah,
Great.
for the labor.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I think the pool of the options of people that would be able to do it. I mean, you could get retired people who worked in factories, who know how to run work on farms, know how to run the equipment. They don't have their own equipment, but they can run the equipment and just want a little gig. That I think the pool of people would open up more than just having people who have their own equipment. So it's pretty exciting to actually realize that, you know, that was a possibility.
So you're saying like we're gonna shake the bushes for interested local folks and tell them it's only $80 a day to rent a skid steer or whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just think that it's an avenue we haven't explored, and it seems like to me, a lot of the town, our current staff already knows how, I mean, the highway and Jeremy Brown. And Jason S knows how to run skid steer too, and then Jason Bond probably would be excited to learn. It just seems like we have a lot of people already who could do it. With having someone from the outside, the only thing would be insurance. But someone told me that there's something called project riders that insurance companies will project by project give you a rider, add a rider to your insurance. So
That's great.
anyway, it would be thousands of dollars instead of tens of thousands of dollars. So anyway, Mallory did a great job. That was definitely, she showed her strength on that day.
And that's the word.
Mallory, I'm sure you and YouTube can get it sorted. You're gonna be spreading the rest of our gravel after this.
You know, John got on the equipment too, and he said to me afterwards, I don't know if he said this to you, but he said to me, he's like, I think she actually did a better job than I would have done. So
It wasn't that difficult. It was pretty self-explanatory. The machine was pretty self-explanatory. Once the girl there and then John a couple things, he little tips on, you know, this and that, and it was pretty easy.
Nice.
So
and we put in 30 or 25 campsite markers.
roughly 25,
in like not even 2 hours, hour and a half.
Awesome.
And you didn't, no electric lines and no water lines?
nope,
We mapped it all out. The water is 4 feet, is
4
deep
feet
enough, so
down.
we don't have to
Yep.
worry about the water. The electric we mapped out. You can't do a dig safe because it's private property.
It's our
They won't
property.
come into the park.
They won't
We
come
did
in and
look
do
into
it.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
So yeah.
Yeah, so if you wrecked it, we'd be responsible.
Exactly.
Wait, she's got all winter to practice with the tobacco.
All right, thank you.
Is this budget you have at the top, is that, you know, revamped and all?
Yeah, so I had some extensive conversation with Kathy. There's a couple notes within my budget, but they're further down and not within this snapshot. I found a couple things. Well,
But the $90,000 still hasn't been taken out of I thought we did that, so I don't know what happened, but
That
the
transient?
220 for transient campers should be 220,552 for minus 90,000. So the total, the net is actually 53,733, not 100. It's because
53,000
Campspot
what?
already has the seasonals. The seasonals are in here double on our report and then in the transient camper revenues.
So this seasonal camper revenue of $90,130 is included a second time in the transient camper revenue of $220,556.
Correct.
That's why I was asking if that was one of our questions from before. So the actual net is
53.
53,733.
that's how much we
Net.
made at the end, by the end of this year.
You won't know exactly until
All the final.
the end of it, till January.
Sure, yeah, but it's the majority of the money including salaries and everything.
Yep.
Nice. I think that's great.
I do.
Yeah, our highest before was 24,000.
Yeah.
So we doubled it.
Anything else?
Nope. I think that's about all I got.
Excellent. Let's see, we don't have anybody from Mecklenburg this evening.
I think, didn't they send an email right before the meeting started?
Did
I
they?
think it-
Did they?
Then there's no
Actually-
report that comes right
Yeah,
before the
right
meeting
before the
starts,
meeting
because I
starts.
can't access it. You put it out there at that point, so,
Somebody in there.
Well, I thought somebody had joined the meeting, but I don't see them now. So.
yeah, because I didn't check email after 4 o'clock.
Technically, you're not supposed to include anything that doesn't come 24 hours in advance.
Right.
So we'll move on. Code enforcement. At our last meeting, we authorized Jason to attend the training. That training starts at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, so he is on his way to his training.
I know.
So he submitted the report, and I'm just gonna cover it really quickly. The town issued building permits with a construction value of $686,613. We had completed construction value of $50,000 and collected $2,560 in fees. The other item under code enforcement is we have presented the village of Burdette with a shared services agreement. And we're waiting for them to get it reviewed and signed off by their attorney. So until that happens, we can't do the report.
They currently have their own code enforcement officer, but now they're looking to.
No, they have not had, we authorized Jason to work for them for 90 days until we had a written,
Oh, that's right, 90
Agreement.
days.
because
Yeah.
their code enforcement officer resigned earlier this year. And they are trying to figure out what to do, and so the short term, since Jason drives through there all the time anyway,
Mhm.
most of their, not all, but the vast majority of theirs are upgrades and improvements to existing structures, so he's not gonna spend very much time. He did say that the agreement with the village of Lamar Heights is going quite well, that their new code enforcement officer has completed his first round of training and can do a lot of the basic services. And so Jason's spending only a couple hours a week there, and a lot of it he can do by Zoom now.
Oh, that's cool.
Do we have to discuss this cloud thing?
So the cloud
Did you get a
thing,
second email?
he backed out because he did a follow-up email today earlier. He found that it's going to be quite expensive, and working with Anthony from our
CT.
SCT, gonna be able to get the information moved onto his computer. And he'll be able to do a lot of it remotely with or without internet access.
He can basically do what he needs to do, come back, get online and then process it.
And, yeah, because he acknowledged that he was uncomfortable with it being more expensive than any of the other,
Gonna be
the most expensive software program we had was
$4,000 or more dollars a year.
It was 4,000 something to get started, and then it's been about 3,000 to 50,000.
$500 a year or something like that, it is.
And that was still the cheapest one of the quotes he got by a fair amount, so.
Mhm. I could see too, it's like different if you have a big city with 6 code enforcement officers, you know, like, I don't know, I could see that that's different and paying that amount is probably worth it, but when you have one person just trying to do it on 2 different devices, that feels like a lot of
Yeah,
money.
so last I talked to him, we talked a lot about this week. Last I spoke with him, he seemed pretty confident that with it set up on the computer the way that him and Anthony had envisioned, to be able to do the vast majority of it on site on his laptop, and then, like Anthony said, he'd come back and connect, and then he could shoot it off to the.
Also, I mean, if his phone's a hotspot, maybe
There's just dead spots.
There's enough
Yeah,
spots in the town that-
He does have a hotspot on his phone that he could log into. If he
Yeah,
had to
because
send something else.
Spots with no signal in the town of Hector?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's shocking, isn't it? So that's what we have under code enforcement. And now the town clerk, tax collector, court clerk has some things to say.
Yeah, I don't really know anything. Town clerk's monthly report, total disbursements totaled $4,165. That's what we took in revenue. General fund paid to the supervisor was $2,946.52 to New York State DEC for hunting and fishing licenses. They got $1,166.98. The animal population control fund at $29. And we sold one marriage license to the Department of Health at $22.50. So, yeah. That was it for town clerk. Water district, we did get the water report done finally. It was a billing month, so total amount of billing was $80,171.60. And that was after some adjustments and whatever, but that's the base amount of the billing ended up at the $80,171.60. We collected, metered water customers, $22,349.77. Repair reserve fund gains $1,799.96. We re-levied with the added interest that goes on the re-levy. The amount the supervisor will receive after it's collected in taxes is $21,146.26. So with the balance of the November billing that wasn't paid as of the end of November, there's an outstanding balance as of November 30th of $86,876.25 in the district. But we have collected quite a lot of money in the last week in water payments because they're due by the 15th of the month. So water payments are coming in pretty steady at this moment.
Did you take away the 290 or $39 or whatever it was? We just,
Yeah, that's not, I think that actually is gonna be taken out in December. Because before we actually take it out, so it'll come off of there in December. It'll balance out before the end of the year. I don't really have anything to report on court other than the state and the county keep issuing tickets, and we're probably getting, I make either 30 or 45 folders at a time, and I can't make it through 30 days with that number of folders with the amount of tickets that are coming.
And that's unusual. I mean, it's a higher number than usual.
They're just writing more tickets, or they have been. It might slow down now that winter's here, maybe. I don't know.
Now that it's not as enticing to get out of your car to give somebody a speeding ticket, you might let things slide.
Yeah, so.
All right.
Well, Meredith, we can't wait to hear your voice next month. Are you ready?
With that being
We're
said,
behind you all the way.
I'm 100% behind you.
she's been here pretty much every day since the week of Thanksgiving, and so she's gonna come into this with a much improved base understanding of what she's facing.
She's been learning. She's got to make friends with the calculator, but she'll get there.
I
Brain
find
is fried every night, but it's fine.
I find it helps to put googly eyes on it.
I throw a lot at her, show her a lot, hand her here, run a total on this, or do, hand her a couple of things. And
The sign comes after the number, not before.
I'd have trouble with that too, I'll tell you right now.
I'll finally get the hang of it, and then I'll give it to Javier, and then I'll.
Well, you'll know if you mess up because you won't balance.
I know.
So we had a very first, I was off the week of Thanksgiving, so the very first day that I spent some time with Meredith was trying to balance my town clerk's accounts for the month. We had a couple little things happen, but we were able to find them. It took a couple hours, but we were able to find them. And then I thought it was a good learning experience for Meredith to actually see how to lay the whole thing out and figure out what part of the report wasn't working right, what were we missing, what were we not. And it ended up there were 2 building permit checks that needed to be deposited that weren't deposited. And then the October 31st deposit didn't go to the bank till November 3rd. And when you add that into the next mix, you never balance. So we had to take that back out. And so there wasn't anything awry. It was doing the calculations and making everything come to what was budgeted. So we got there.
All right, so with that all being said, right now on the schedule, we have January 30th as our year-end meeting.
December 30th.
December, I've said that 3 times since we started this tonight. December
Yes.
30th is our year-end meeting. I understand that Anthony will not be here and Rebecca may not be here.
Hmm.
That still leaves us with 4
If you
people.
have 4.
We have quorum. And it'll be Jessica's last.
And I was
meeting.
gonna, Jessica's already checked out.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm just like making sure, like, wait a minute.
The problem is you definitely
Definitely
need a
need-
meeting that last week of December in order to get all your bills
Paid
paid
and encumbered funds.
and start the process that you're gonna encumber funds for bill, things that might be ordered that aren't invoiced yet.
So I'll probably be able to get here.
If you don't have 4 of you, we're
Doom.
doomed.
Do you like that terminology?
It,
Doom.
it feels a bit extreme, but okay.
Yes, we definitely need to have 4 of you, and then maybe we're set for 2 p.m.
All right, 2? All right, I've got that on my calendar, so
Okay,
You do have it?
well, I put it on there, so I.
we had it, because we
Are
said
you maybe
it
gonna be
last
counting?
time.
I just put it on there today.
Oh, it was on that sheet of,
Yeah, it was on that sheet, but we also, why didn't we,
It was on that sheet, okay.
that, maybe we didn't
I don't,
finalize that.
I don't think we finalized it, but it was on our sheet. And then I would like to have an organizational meeting on Monday, December, months are struggle for me today, January 5th. I would like to have this as a separate meeting because there's a bunch of appointments. And I also think it might be a good opportunity for the new town clerk to have a sort of an abbreviated meeting, get a little bit of experience before we go into our first full.
We've talked about what's required for that meeting and your regular audit meeting and trying to combine the two, which has been done occasionally in the past.
What's it called?
It makes for a super long meeting. If you can separate these out.
Reorganization.
Or meeting?
A lot of your, yeah, it's a reorganizational meeting because you have a new board member. You can't
Do it
make
all
your
in one.
appointments and do all of those type of things. Without that new board member having the voting capability in. So you do need to have a meeting early in January if you can it all pulled off and not wait till the. Cause your regular meeting, I think, is the
Yeah.
13th.
Yeah, the regular meeting's the 13th, so I was gonna propose that we do 7 PM on December 5th.
January 5th.
Jeepers.
Wow.
January, does that work for?
Okay.
And before that, you and I can just review all the appointments, because I've always leaned on Jane, so well, between the two of us, we'll get through this. But I think it's a good experience to have that experience before we go into the full board meeting and separating it as your first meeting that you're.
Right, and on the 31st of December, we kind of have a plan to try to draft out that agenda
Cool,
on the
what-
31st of
No,
December.
reorg meeting would
time
be
is-
at 7:00?
yes.
It's, if you move right along with the appointments and you don't have a lot of questions, you shouldn't be more than an hour, not an hour and a half or so. I mean,
I
it
would
shouldn't
say,
shouldn't take a super long time if if you move along, because a lot of it's just reappointing people. For instance, for Meredith, though, it's because it's appointing the records management officer, the registrar of vital statistics, and water billing and collection. Your highway superintendent, deputy highway superintendent are also up for appointment. It's also then setting your, legal paper, which has to be the Watkins Review. It's the only published paper in the county. Authorizing
the bank,
emergency expenditures for the highway department for the emergency purposes.
what branches is the bank to?
What banks
Yep.
you're using or allowed to use. The date and time of the regular audit meetings.
Mhm.
All of, yeah, that's
That's the.
authorizing you to pay certain bills like, telephone, propane, electric, if need be, before audit, so that you don't get late charges. If you had to, postage, payrolls, all of that type of stuff. It's a whole long list
Fun thing.
of resolutions to get everything set for the year.
All right, so we have those meetings set. Hunt engineering. I forwarded everybody the full report that we have received. This is just the, sort of the cover page saying that they recommend a limited phase 2. And if you read through their recommendations, there's 2 small areas that they recommend, the phase 2, and we are waiting to hear back from them for their proposal. And we'll have it by the December 30th meeting, but they didn't see a huge problem, but I spoke with him on the telephone, and basically there are 2 workshop areas. What's that?
Did you send us the whole phase one?
Absolutely.
I didn't
It was
see
an
it.
attachment that was, you had to click on a link down in the.
Yep.
But I can't get on it.
Well, you could that day though, because I asked
I
you
might have,
for
I did that day, but now I can't, and I
But I
didn't,
sent it all, it was,
I didn't print it because it
if
was.
this is dated the 25th, I think it was the next day.
Yeah, and I could open it that day, I can't open it now.
I'm not sure we got it.
Yeah, I remember you said you sent it to Jane to make sure she could
From-
open it, but then I never
And then
saw
he
it come
turned around
in.
and sent it to you guys.
Yeah. you
Right
can
after that.
Yeah.
We'll have to try to find it for you.
I do see that the Mech Park says their only news tonight was the winter solstice party on December 19th from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Mecklenburg Fire Department. The Fire Department will be cooking sausage and pepper meals, and there'll be a bonfire. Can you send it again, Jonathan?
Yes, I'll send it again. I will forward
You said the 25th?
around, it was after the 25th, that's when this is dated.
Yeah. I'm not.
Okay.
Right. So we're not approving that tonight.
But anyway, we're not approving, they have 2 areas around workshops, they recommend that for limited phase 2, and they're putting together a quote, and they have to finish the secret as part of this. The library is part of them, reaching their municipal status. We still have to approve their elected officials, if that's my understanding. Is that right, Liz?
Mhm.
So here is the list of municipal, or not municipal, library officers that we need to approve. I will read them. Roberta Beckhorn, President, term January 2025 through December 31st, 2027. Kylie Rodriguez, Vice President, term January 2025 through December 31st, 2026. Ella Preston, Secretary, term January 2026 through December 31st, 2028. Amy Grove Beckhorn, Treasurer, January 2026 through December 31st, 2028. Tom Phillips, Member at Large, January 2025 through December 31st, 2026. And Nancy Davis, Member at Large, January 2026 through December 31st, 2028.
I'll second your motion.
We have a first and a second. Any further questions or comments?
Some of these started at the beginning of January, but.
We'll start at the beginning of
Yeah, it's a
Started beginning of.
this January.
2025,
Yeah. Yeah.
This is their first full year though, together.
Yeah, it's probably getting it all together and realizing
Yeah,
the town board needed to.
Do this. I remember them
Yeah.
talking in the presentation of what they need, we're going to need, that we were gonna have to do this. So we have a first and a second. If there are no further comments, all in favor of approving this? Aye. Anybody opposed? Okay. After 6 months of discussion, we're at the point where we've come to an agreement with the Teamsters and recognizing the Teamsters as representing the town highway department. The members that are included will be all full-time, non-temporary, non-seasonal employees in the town highway department. And it excludes all confidential and managerial employees and elected officials and all in town employees working outside of the town highway department. This is essentially what we discussed at our last board meeting in executive session.
This didn't go to.
It went to court. We said that we were willingly, if we could come to an agreement on the bargaining group, that we would recognize them voluntarily. This is the bargaining group, the full-time, non-temporary, non-seasonal employees in the town's highway department. And with that being said, if we move forward with this recognition, this resolution this evening, we'll move on to the next phase, which will be negotiating the initial contract with the highway department.
I'll make the motion to recognize the Highway Teamsters Union Local 118.
I second the motion.
We have a first and a second. Any further questions or comments? This public record?
It needs to be a roll call vote.
Okay.
Because of the nature.
You want to read the whole thing?
Roll call vote.
Yeah, we don't need to.
Okay.
Okay, it was being a roll call vote.
Aye.
Aye.
I,
Aye. Motion carries. Next item is part of our purchase of the property. We're in,
we've got,
Elected
newly
officials training.
elected officials training.
Yeah, it's kinda, I
don't-
screwed up your order.
all right, the elected official training. We have both Meredith, that was elected as town clerk, and Mark Haber, who was elected for the board. We're offering both of them the newly elected training that I think everybody here, except for maybe Jane, has been to. Back then, they didn't have training.
Yeah,
Dark
I went
ages.
to lots of other trainings every year.
No training shaming.
It was fine. There is currently an online one, I think is December 19th. There's a webinar done by the New York State Town Clerks Association for newly elected town clerks that would cover all of this
Stuff as well.
stuff regarding specifically town clerks that's in here and some of the others, I'm sure, but I don't know what all was involved in that, and I don't believe there's a fee for that one. I think it's a free webinar. And
Maybe
it's
do
just
both.
done
You
online.
probably wouldn't have to do both
Yeah.
because
Do the
Because
December
you're
one,
gonna
and
be-
then
have
a
so
month
much
later, you
information.
might wanna brush up again.
It's just, I think, Meredith, we'll look it up tomorrow. Okay.
It's nice this one's in Corning
December
too.
19th,
Yeah.
Which might not work.
This is $250 for each member. It isn't in this flyer, so I looked it up before the training so that there was no questions.
Uh-huh.
It's $250 and I'm looking for approvals so that we can go ahead and schedule it for the two of them.
Somebody asked Mark if he wanted to go.
I asked Mark.
Okay,
I
good.
explained to Mark
Just checking.
early on and he is quite interested
They
in
don't
it.
always
We,
spend
I
Yeah,
talked
yeah.
to Meredith about it too, so yes.
Mhm.
So
I
no
make-
hotels.
No hotels, it would be
No,
strictly,
it's just Corning, it's the 21st through the 23rd of June.
so go back and forth from Corning.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 35 minutes.
Mhm. I make a motion to approve $500 to send our newly elected newly elected board member and clerk to the training in Corning on January 21st, 23rd.
we have a first and a second. Any further questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
At least you didn't say infected.
Oh, they're all gonna be affected by being on the town board.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let me try this again. As part of purchasing the property, we need to do a survey, boundary survey for our property we're attempting to purchase. We're still in the phase, we have until the end of February to complete all the exploratory. And so this is the quote. There were two different quotes. Obviously, I think it would be beneficial to us to adopt the upper quote, 3,800 to 4,300. That would be finished during the week of January 5th. He did say that he could force it through before Christmas if we wanted it, but it was going to cost us.
Is there a reason that we would need it before Christmas?
At one point in time, we were trying to close before Christmas, but with the recommendation to go to the phase 2, it's not going to happen now.
I would make a motion to accept the surveying quote from Finger Lake Surveying and Mapping Design Professional Corporation for $3,800 to $4,300 for delivery between January 5th and January 9th.
I'll second that.
We have a first and a second. Any further questions or comments?
We got their quotes.
Professional service.
Let me see it.
And I have a professional service that he based in town of Hector, so he
Yeah.
also was, from our experience, because he's doing the topographical survey for Smith Park. He was significantly less than the other two that he got quotes from for that.
Should the wording actually say up to $4,300 instead of $3,800 to $4,300?
I could put it in just the way that it's written.
Okay. Might be cheaper than that.
Yeah, it's a good
Right.
point. Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
that's true.
Yeah, with probably it's a minimum of 3,800, a max of 43, so.
Well, I think Mike's right. It could just say up to $4,300. That way, if it's less than it would be.
Good catch. Hearing no further questions, all in favor? Anybody opposed? All right. We have our annual letter that requires no action. Just telling us about their plans for the 2026 Seneca 7th, which will be on Sunday, April 26th. I would encourage anybody to take a look at this, and if there's any concerns, they have, in the past, we have expressed some concerns and they have addressed them, I think, so.
Right, and I don't think they're changing where they're doing the stops and transfers. By the looks of this, it looks like it's the same as it was.
Yeah.
What they did last year worked out well, so they.
Yeah. So I don't think they've changed anything. What I'm seeing, reading here, it looks pretty much what they did last year.
It's not like the state troopers were. I have a lot of sense of.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the state police are involved in it, it's, they have it, they're really the ones that have jurisdiction over the roads, not us, anyway.
I mean, I'll take it, but.
Okay, we're gonna move on.
Alright.
Our previous cleaner has finally officially retired. She talked about it for a long time, that's why I said finally, not that there was any issue with her cleaning. And we have found a new person willing to accept it, so, I'd like to make a motion that we appoint Kelly L. Jacobs as cleaner for the town of Hector at a rate of $21 an hour effective December 5th.
I second the motion.
We have a first and a second. Any further questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. And then I have one more very brief thing. We had agreed at a meeting a couple meetings ago, I think it was in November, that we would use CP Interlink for the new town phone system. When I reached out to them, they quoted us, I think, in either late August or early September. The phones that they had proposed to us have updated, and the cost, increasing the cost to the town by $121.50. Just the new model came out essentially. And so I wanted to let everybody know that we're still gonna move forward, but there's $121 increase.
That's like landline phones.
Yes. Well, they're not technically landlines anymore, but
They're
office telephones, we'll call it.
Office telephone system.
They're voiceover.
Yep.
But it's a minimum amount, and even if you add that onto their quote, you're still far below what the other two quotes were. But the whole thing is it's a change in what is available for the phone. Cause they don't even think they can order the phone they quoted us on 3 months ago.
Wow, that's wild. I make a motion to adjourn.
Oh, that's fine.
Did we do a resolution for that or did we?
I thought it was more just an FYI. Do we need a resolution?
We can do a resolution, cover our backside. I would like to propose that we accept the CP interlink with its new $121.50 additional charge. That brings the total to $3,809.50.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a first and a second, actually, and I'd also like to add authorizing me to sign the contract.
Agreed.
So. Then you'll second, or whoever seconded. Okay, we have a first and a second. Any additional questions or comments? Hearing none. All in favor?
I make a motion to adjourn.
See you all Thursday.
See you all Thursday.
Oh, is there something happening on Thursday?
We're going to Kuma's.